Hi everybody, it's Miss Brooke. Let's get ready to start making candles. Ready, set, go!
Okay, so I'm going to write down the things you need and your steps while we're boiling our wax. So first, obtain the materials. What are those materials for candle making? So that would be candle wax. You can get it at Michael's or order it on Amazon if you can't get in. Color, wax, color for wax. Color, i.e. dye. Obviously, scented oils. You can use stuff at home, but it isn't recommended, by the way, because it doesn't burn at the same level. You want your home oils like that you have for, you don't want to use those. So scented oils for candles. Sometimes you can use those ones for soap. Okay. You need scissors. My handwriting's getting worse. And you need wick. And you need duct tape. The gray glue, the gray pasty stuff is optional. Gray, I think it's called putty. What else? You need 2 pots. Stove. And you need disposable paper or disposable to cover table. Okay. See, now I got some wax on here. Next, patience, because it takes a while. Fourth, you need hot plates and gloves for pouring hot wax. Okay? Very, very important. Always this is happening while your parent is with you, by the way. You're not alone. I don't want anybody doing this by themselves. That's a no-no.
If you need a book, there's many books on candle making. Obviously, they're also online. This one is mine. I think it's good enough.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is grab some newspaper because this is messy. And you lay some pieces down, obviously, because wax is known to seep out the cracks of the bottom of the base, unless you're really good at making candles. I'm actually pretty good, but it takes a while to do it correctly. So there's that. All right, so I'm going to pull out some of my molds that I've used recently, and they're a little bit dirty. I may try to clean them with some silicone spray and wipe them down. So we have a couple of cylinders, and you'll notice that all of them have a hole in the bottom because you're going to pull your wick right through there and knot it, and you're going to block it with this special glue. Anyway, so here are my molds, and which means the shapes that my candles will be when they're done. Okay, so I put my little basket aside. You can also tell I am doing this outside. Why? Because it's messy. Couple things. You're gonna definitely need some cleaning supplies because you want to anticipate a mess. So I got out my paper towels, and the wind is now blowing. And I'm doing this outside because I don't want to spill it in my kitchen. So your parents will appreciate that. Side note: my chickens are coming to visit. Whatever. Okay, the next thing is I'm gonna clean my molds because everything will come out smoother. Yes, I have coffee. Why? Because this takes a while, okay? Okay, I'm gonna begin cleaning my chickens and the dog. Everybody's coming to watch, including the cats. All right. Okay, here's some of the things you're gonna need. Duct tape. Here is the wick, and it's coated plastic. You can actually get plain string that they sell, and you can just actually dip it into wax, and then it becomes wick. But you got to do that. And I have two different kinds. I have a thin kind. It's a little finer, and this is a little thicker. I'm going to be using this one, and this one. I just wiped them out. There was some little residue of rust. And here are my blocks of wax. And this grade of wax doesn't melt as easily. Some are really oily, but I buy the ones that will last longer. Okay, so I've already cut one of the pieces of wick, and you'll notice that it is going to be a little bit longer than the actual mold. And I'm doing that now with this smaller one. Okay, I'm gonna trim it, hang on. Do it like this length. And then, I guess you can kind of see that right there, sorry. And then I'm gonna do it again with this one. This one's smaller. This little short square one. Okay, next I am going to pull some of this duct tape and cut that much. And then I will add it to the bottom of this. Okay, see how I tried to sort of, you try to make sure that, I need to stick it so it goes underneath and it's tight. Alright, and then, here, boom. Make sure you seal the bottom. Here are my color selections, and I really just sort of add color as I look at it from how it's boiling down with the wax. And sometimes I feel like changing my mind, and then I'll add a light color like this. Basically, it's like a vanilla. And just this point, when you have light color in a candle, it shines the light through it. So I always try to add a light color. Otherwise, it's hard to see the candle in the dark. So you're going to want to start getting ready to do your color as this wax is melting. And so I'm preparing by cutting some of mine, you know, and you need some sharp scissors like these. And, you know, because the wax, this block of color is made of wax. So anyways, I'm just going to take some of the shavings, and then I cut it. Here we go. Put it on top. And then I'm there. Okay. Now's the fun part too, because I'm just going to grab some of the scents. I'm going to grab some of this Nag Champa and generously throw it in there. Hold on a moment. Just do a little splash. A little splash, you can see. And then I'll grab maybe some jasmine. Is this the jasmine? Oh no, that's the Nag Champa. Anyway. One thing about candle making, it smells so good. I love how everything smells amazing. You wind up smelling good too, because you smell like all the scents. Okay, so I'm going to take this mold and pull this through. And then you're going to tie a knot at the bottom. Okay, and you pull it. Tie the knot, pull it. And then I actually get like a stick of any kind. It really doesn't matter. I could even use my pen. And I tie it tight. So you don't want the wick to sort of wobble. Okay? And this is how it looks like down in there. Okay? And the bottom part, I'm going to use there's this stuff here. It looks like gray. I don't know what to describe it. It's like gray tape, gray gum. Anyway, what you do is you put that at the base of the knot, because just in case the wick slips through. And then look at I've tightened this back up. Okay, now that I've prepped my candles, I'm getting out my scents that I have. I have a lot of scented oils. This is, which one is this? This is jasmine. Then I think this one is actually suntan lotion. It smells like suntan lotion. It smells amazing. And I have some strange ones too. When you mix them all together, it just is really kind of fun with the smells that you get. But I've got poinsettia. I've got, what's this one? Nag champa, which is like an incense smell, and honeysuckle. Anyway, so I'm just gonna experiment with my scents, and also I do the same thing with colors, but we're gonna start now with boiling the wax, and we use a double boiler. All right, so here's my little tiny stove top, and this is what I'm using to do the candle melting in, or the wax melting in. And so here I have a very junky pot that I don't care if it gets ruined, and I filled it to about halfway. And I'm going to be monitoring this closely. There's a little ant, I don't want you to die, so there's that. And then I'll show you the next step. Okay, here are my oven mitts and my hot plate, because I'm going to need to put this boiling double boiler on here at some point and pour some wax, so that can be tricky. And everything around here is nothing that I value much. And my outfit is, I call it my candle making outfit. I will show it to you maybe later. I don't know if you can see it. It's ugly. I did it on purpose because I don't care how it looks. Obviously, you're going to want your mom or dad's assistance. You can't do this alone. And I'm going to heat up my stove, I hope. Make sure it's not plugged in. Oh, it's not plugged in. So I'm going to turn my stove on because I want to get this to a boil, and I'm turning it way up because, you know, time's a-wasting. Okay, you can already hear it's beginning to sizzle. Then I'm going to add a second pot, which is just as gross as this one that I don't care about, and I'm going to let it float in there. And this is called a double boiler. Okay, I already have a piece of wax in there. It's got dust on it. I don't care if my candles come out pristine. I really don't. But you might, and if you are more meticulous, I've made so many candles that I just love pulling them out of the mold. It's just the most fun. But this is important. Parental, guidance is important for making candles. By the way, very must do it with a parent. While I'm waiting for this next block of wax to melt, you know, the dog's getting bored. The chickens have come. Everybody's hanging out. My cats, they're all wanting to know, what are you doing? Hurry up. But anyway, like I said, patience. Once I do this final pour, then the next step is basically taking it out, and then you have a finished product.
Okay, side note, I'm going to also use this old candle holder and fill it back up with wick and wax and turn it into basically a new looking candle. Somebody gave this to me and I really liked it, and it was like, you know, like a $50 candle or something. So I'm going to preserve it. You'll see that. A little piece of string attached to a popsicle stick, and I'm literally just going to place it.
While all the wax is gone, I've poured it all into the molds. It's going to probably be like a dark cranberry colored, the most uniform of all the candles. I typically do multi-layers, but it'll take about at least 5 hours for these to dry before I can show them to you, and then you can see what you can make, and it's really cool.
Okay, everybody, it is the next morning. The candles have dried, and I pulled 2 of them out of their molds. This is the one that I pulled this one out this morning, and you can probably see the other colors, and it's just really, it smells amazing. And that came out of this oval, obviously. And then this guy came out of the taller cylinder, this one. Okay, this cylinder. And I am going to pull this one out with you basically watching. Okay, this, I'm going to try to, here you can't really see it, but I'm going to pull this out right now. So that just came out of this mold. Okay, and this is how it looks, this one. You can see it's a nice flat edge, and I'm gonna trim the wicks right now. And then I brought out this plate, which is a serving plate, and I'm gonna decorate it with some moss and make it a presentable thing. So you can basically have like a candle plate where everything matches. It's very pretty. Hang on one sec and I'll be done. Really quick, of course my chickens are, you know, doing their sounds, but ignore that. You got to pull this candle out, and it's kind of tricky. You got to shake it a bit, and then you pull it, you know, you're gentle, but you pull it out, and that takes some time to get out. So when you are removing your candles, know it can take, that is a little bit of a annoying part of this process, but it is well worth it. So I just got this one out of this square, okay, and then I'm just going to trim it. So I'm going to trim the wick with you watching. Hopefully you can see this okay. So just trim it. You want to keep the wick on the long side, and you cut it off of the stick. And you have two choices. You can either use this side for your candle or this side. And I prefer them to all sort of look matching. And so there we have it. And so we have a nice collection of these candles, and they smell amazing. And what's kind of nice is some people, if you give them as gift, like really want an oval, really want a square, you'll find that. But I'm going to decorate it with my moss, and then it's very presentable. So that's it. I'm done. I have this really cool presentation of candles. And honestly, people throughout my life have always asked me to make them candles, and they think I'm really good at it. I don't know. I just think I just whip it together pretty quick. Just remember, be safe when you're handling hot wax, clearly, and use parental guidance. And this one over here, my wisteria, I refilled. I didn't clean it up very much, but I don't know if you can see the inside. It smells so good. It's just amazing. So anyway, we're done. Talk to you soon, and good luck with any projects you're doing, and stay hopefully entertained and enjoying family time while you can. Bye guys.